Hello everyone, my name is Professor Hardik Patel. Uh, in previous video lectures, we have discussed amplitude modulation and in that one, modulation index. Right? So, you know about how amplitude modulated signal is being generated and what is the significance of modulation index. Yeah. So, once at transmitter side, amplitude modulated signal is transmitted by transmitting antenna. So at receiver side, it is necessary to reproduce the modulating signal or information signal, right? So in today's video lecture, I am going to give you idea about demodulation of amplitude modulated signal, right? So in demodulation, actually demodulation is performed at receiver side, right? So in demodulation, what is our aim? So let's see, from transmitter side we have transmitted this kind of information signal, modulating signal, right? Then at transmitter side we have performed modulation, amplitude modulation. So here this waveform is of amplitude modulated signal, right? So if you observe carefully the envelope which is shown by here dotted line, so this envelope is actually retaining the information of signal being transmitted, right? Means this envelope contains the information signal, right? Actually this dotted line is just fictitious line, right? Hypothetical line. Actually there is no connection between these peaks of modulated signal, right? But if you observe carefully, if you join all peaks of a modulated signal, right, all peaks of modulated signal, so you will get this kind of envelope, and this envelope is nothing but what? It is retaining the information signal. So from this modulated signal, as we are transmitting from transmitter side, at receiver side we need to receive this modulated signal, and from this modulated signal we have to retrieve original information from this envelope, and that retrievation of information signal from modulated signal, it is known as demodulation, right? Is from this signal we have to decode the information from this envelope. So here envelope is important. So we have discussed about modulation index, m less than 1, m is equal to 1, m greater than 1. So I told you in each case what is the significance. So for amplitude demodulation, means for demodulation of AM signal, the important condition is m should be less than 1, m should be less than 1, and this is the case known as under modulation, right? So to have perfect demodulation at receiver side, we need to set m less than 1, and m depends on what? Peak value of modulating signal and peak value of carrier signal. So as you can see here modulated signal is shown here. So here this peak means it is known as Vmax, as we have discussed earlier, you know the terminology. So here it is Vmax, it is nothing but what? Vc plus Vm. Here it is the bottom peak, it is Vmin, it is Vc minus Vm, right? So to set m less than 1, you need to set Vc minus Vm always greater than 0. Vc minus Vm always greater than 0, right? Means this for this Vmin, right? This Vmin should not be less than 0 or equal to 0, right? So that is the condition, or in simple language you can set m less than 1 by setting Vm and Vc, right? Next, see here it is overview of envelope detector or peak detector circuits, right? So as you know, this is amplitude modulated signal that is transmitted from transmitting antenna. So at receiving end it has to be received by receiving antenna. So for envelope detector circuit or peak detector circuit or for demodulator circuit, the input is AM signal as shown here, right? So this would be the input. So here in demodulator circuit or in envelope detector circuit, there are three basic components: one diode, one capacitor, one resistor. And output of this circuit means voltage across R or voltage across capacitor would be like this, as you can see here. So here you can see here, actually we are going to detect the uh, peak of modulated signal. We are going to detect the peak of modulated signal, so we'll get this kind of output. So its shape is like a actual modulating signal, but still it is not perfect, so we need to refine this using filter. So we need to design appropriate filter to remove noise or ripples present in this circuit, so we'll get this kind of filtered circuit. So this output is actually looks like this one, original information signal. Okay, so this way I have given the basic idea of overview of envelope detector circuit, how uh, amplitude modulated signal will be processed by this circuit, and how we'll get modulating signal again back, right? So in this circuit, if you observe this circuit carefully, there are two important components. One is capacitor, one is resistance, right? So what is the significance of this RNC? Let's see. So in this circuit here, RNC, so means RC, multiplication of RC. You know the RC is what it is known as time constant. So here in this case it would be discharging time constant. So if RC is too low or moderate or too high, then what is the effect of this RC on shape of output signal? That we have to check, that we have to see, right? RC is not supposed to be any haphazard or random value. RC should be some proper value to get a shape of output signal uh, looks like a modulating signal. So here let's see different cases, right? So first case, if discharging time constant RC is too low, if RC is too low, then what will happen? So first of all, before discussing in detail about this RC too low, high or moderate value, how this circuit will work, that we have to understand. So let us try to understand this circuit first. Here input is what? Modulated signal, right? This kind of modulated signal. Here it is diode, it is capacitor, one resistance. So right now assume diode is ideal. Initially assume capacitor is relaxed, means initial voltage across capacitor is 0, right? So if we provide here input signal, so when potential at anode of diode is larger than the potential at cathode, diode will turn on, it goes in forward bias. So it would look like closed switch, right? So whenever input is greater than 0, right, diode will turn on, so capacitor will charge, and as soon as capacitor is charging, right, so it will follow the input. So at that instant of time when voltage across capacitor is maximum, voltage across capacitor is maximum, that is denoted here, right? For example, so when voltage across capacitor is maximum, means it is up to a peak value of envelope, peak value of envelope V max. Then again, input signal is time varying. So as input is varying with time, so its value would be now less than the previous peak, right? So potential at anode would be less than the potential uh, at the cathode, right? Means voltage across voltage across capacitor is now greater than the voltage at anode terminal. So here it established the reverse bias situation. So in that case, diode will be in reverse bias, so it looks like open switch, right? So there is no flow of current from capacitor to input terminal. So only path available to flow of current is through R. So now capacitor will discharge through a resistance R, as you can see, right? So now when according to the RC time constant, capacitor will discharge. So when voltage across capacitor is greater than input voltage, right, it keeps on discharging through R. But when voltage across capacitor is less than the input signal, because input is time varying, so when input is greater than voltage across capacitor, again diode comes into the picture, again it goes in forward bias, it looks like closed switch. So again capacitor will follow the input and capacitor will again charge, right. So this way this circuit will work. So now let's say if RC is too small, RC too small means capacitor requires very less amount of time to discharge, means there is a rapid discharge or quick discharge of capacitor, right. So in that case what will happen, let's see. So when we apply here modulated signal as an input, so initially we are assuming capacitor is nulled or relaxed, initial voltage across capacitor is 0, right, consider ideal diode. So as soon as we are applying modulated signal as an input, so diode will turn on, capacitor will charge, right. So capacitor will follow the input and capacitor will charge up to maximum peak of envelope, maximum peak of modulated signal, right, means up to here. Then what happens, as capacitor is charged to maximum value, and you know this is modulated signal is time varying signal, so the moment when input signal is less than voltage across capacitance, because modulated signal is time varying signal, so when input is less than voltage across capacitance, then diode goes in reverse bias open circuit. So whatever voltage stored across capacitor, whatever voltage stored across capacitor, that would now discharge through resistance R. So now as we have assumed RC is too low, so it will take very short amount of time to discharge, right. So capacitor will discharge rapidly, very quickly it will discharge. So as shown in this diagram you can see, right. So capacitor is discharging. Now when again you know the input means modulated signal is time varying, right. So as soon as input is greater than voltage across capacitance, as you know RC is too small, so RC means capacitor is discharged at 0 level, and when input is again greater than 0, again diode comes into the picture, diode goes in forward bias like closed switch, again capacitor will charge. So as capacitor is charging, right, so it will now charge up to next peak, next possible peak, so here it will charge up to this peak, right. Again modulated signal is time varying, so it means diode goes in again reverse bias, so again capacitor will discharge, right. So this way charging and discharging of capacitor is occurring, and here discharging of capacitor is very fast, right, as you can see in this diagram discharging is very fast. So the the blue line signal represented by this blue line shows the output across resistance, means it is the demodulated output, right. So if we are if we see the demodulated output shown by this blue line, so it is actually different from original signal transmitted from transmitting antenna, means modulating signal, it is different from modulating signal, right. So here still, even though here m less than 1, our output signal or say demodulated signal is different from modulating signal actually transmitted, right. So now let's see again second case. If RC is too high, so again same procedure, means same process, same working of this circuit, but if RC is too large, then what will happen? So if RC is too large, so initially you know capacitor will charge up to this, but here as RC is too large, it will take a large amount of time to discharge. So you can see as voltage across capacitor is maximum and input is less, so always diode will remain in off state, in reverse bias, or say you can consider it looks like open circuit, right. So here you can see here as RC is large, it is taking large amount of time to discharge, you can see, right. So again when up to here suppose RC is discharged, and again input is greater than voltage across capacitor, so again diode goes in forward bias, so capacitor will follow the input, so again capacitor will charge up to this, again input is uh, time varying, right, input is time varying, so diode goes in reverse bias, then again you can see it takes large amount of time, right, and see this way you can see the output shown by this blue line. So again for m less than 1 and RC too high, you can see this output is quite different from modulating signal that was transmitted by modulation, right. So again for too large value of RC will have different demodulated output. Third case, before third case, let's see the another diagram, right. If you can see the cursor, right, the pointer, actually we need to follow this shape, means dark line, right, so we need to follow this dark line. According to that way RC should charge and discharge, right, but if RC is too large, then you can see, so the shape of envelope will not be maintained in uh, uh, detected output or in demodulated output, right. So if RC is too large or RC is too small, it cannot follow the envelope, right. So we should have a moderate value of RC, right, means discharging time constant RC should be moderate. So in moderate RC, what is the requirement? According to the uh, value of RC, right, it will charge and discharge the it will follow the charge and discharging. So as you can see here moderate value of RC, so it is not quickly discharging or it is not taking too much time to discharge, right, it is going to follow the shape of envelope, it is going to follow the shape of envelope as you can see here, right. So this kind of signal later on can be filtered out by appropriate filter to detect actual shape of envelope, which is nothing but what, modulating signal, right. So we should have moderate value of RC. Now in next slide I will show you the RC depends on again different parameters, right. So let's see, RC depends on two important parameters. One is FM, it is frequency of modulating signal or information signal, and M, second is M, modulation index. So these two parameters are actually, these two along with this RC, these two parameters are important to follow the shape of envelope, to follow the shape of envelope, right. If we are following the shape of envelope, means if output is, if we want output looks like modulating signal, then we must follow the shape of envelope, and to follow the shape of envelope we need to set appropriate value of RC for given value of FM and modulation index. Is that clear? So this way discharging time constant RC must be moderate for given value of FM and M, right. So let's see how to design appropriate peak detector circuit, appropriate peak detector circuit. So you can see here, okay, here there is a spelling mistake. So you can see here only positive envelope I have shown, right. Here I have shown only positive envelope, the negative part of circuit is I have not mentioned in this diagram, so you can consider it. So you know this dotted line indicates our requirement, dotted line is our requirement, right. And this is what the positive cycles of modulated signal, because here we have used the diode in this situation, right. So it is going to allow only positive half cycles of modulated signal, positive half cycles of modulated signal, right. So that's why these negative half cycles are ignored in this figure, right, because of position of diode. So when we apply this kind of modulated signal, capacitor will charge up to this, right? Again, as input is reducing, diode goes in reverse bias, so capacitor will now discharge. Capacitor will discharge like this, right? So here capacitor has to discharge such a way that it has to follow this envelope. It has to follow this envelope to get actual modulating signal, actual information signal, right? So based on this, there is a theory to get appropriate equation of RC based on modulation index and FM. So let's see. The voltage across capacitor is given by, you know, VC discharge. Here actually capacitor is discharging, so the voltage across discharging capacitor is given by Vmax into e is to minus T upon RC, where Vmax is the maximum value up to which it has charged, right? So using this Taylor's series formula, this equation can be written as VC discharging is equal to Vmax into 1 minus T upon RC, right? So for two terms only, they have expanded this equation according to Taylor series by considering small variations, right? So now next, see, so to follow the shape of envelope, means here it is, envelope is this ET, it is denoted by this ET. So to follow the shape of envelope, the discharging rate of capacitor means dV by dt. Discharging rate of capacitor means nothing but what? dVc by dt. dVc by dt means slope of discharging capacitance must be greater than or equal the dE by dt. Means in equation terms, dVc discharging by dt must be greater than or equal d envelope by dt, means slope of envelope. So here see, in order to follow envelope, the magnitude of slope of capacitor discharging voltage must be greater than or equal to the magnitude of the slope of envelope, means dVc by dt must be greater than or equal dE by dt, right? dE by dt. So when dVc by dt is greater than or equal dE by dt, then only we can follow this envelope, right? So that is simple explanation. So we need this. So to have this one, what are the requirements? Let's see. So we know amplitude modulated signal, Vc plus EMT sine omega ct, where Vc plus EMT, you know, the peak amplitude of AM signal, means it shows the peak amplitude of envelope, right? So that envelope E can be represented by Vc plus EMT, where EM is what? Modulating signal. EMT is equal to Vm sine omega mt. So substitute this value here. So envelope can be given as Vc plus Vm sine omega mt. Now take the differentiation of this equation. So dE envelope, D differentiation of envelope with respect to T is given by this one, Vm omega m cos omega mt, as here Vc is constant, so it is, its differentiation is 0. So D differentiation of envelope with respect to time is given by this Vm omega m cos omega mt, right? So this one equation 1, right, this one. So this later on we have to substitute here. Now let's say for this one so you know, the discharging voltage equation is Vc discharging is equal to Vmax e to the power minus T upon RC, right? So this we have discussed earlier. Now let us differentiate this equation with respect to T. So we'll get Vmax into minus 1 upon RC, right? So it's a mode value, means positive value, Vmax upon RC, where Vmax is what? Maximum capacitor voltage from where it starts discharging. Maximum capacitor voltage from that starts discharging. So here equation 2. So dVc upon dt is equal to Vmax upon RC, So as we get here two values, two equations, so substitute this previously obtained slopes into this equation. So we'll get Vmax upon Rc greater than or equal Vm into omega m cos omega mt, right? So now Vmax actually Vmax is the peak amplitude. Vmax is the maximum capacitor voltage from where it starts discharging, means it is the peak value of envelope. So it is given by Vc plus EMT, right? And remaining terms as it is. Now EMT is equal to what? Modulating signal Vm sin omega mt. So now when we solve this for value of Rc, we'll get this one, right? In previous equation, when you multiply by 1 upon Vc on both sides, right? So we will get this 1 plus, here when you multiply by 1 upon Vc, and when you multiply this 1 upon Vc with bracket terms, so we'll get Vm upon Vc, Vm upon Vc. So Vm upon Vc is known as modulation index M. So you will get this 1 plus m sin omega mt upon Rc greater than or equal, here again Vm upon Vc, it is replaced by m omega, then omega m cos omega mt, right? So we'll have this equation, Rc is less than this term, Rc is less than this term, right? So as you can see here, now to find out its minimum maximum value of Rc, so let's differentiate Rc with respect to time t, equate with 0, so we will get one condition. So means differentiation of this Rc with respect to t, with respect to t, and then after equating to 0, whatever are the steps I have skipped, actually these steps are mentioned in PDF file, so do not worry. So for sake of simplicity, I have just considered the results. So when you differentiate this equation with respect to t, and after equating that differentiation with 0, you will get one condition, right? Sin omega mt is equal to minus m. So now substitute this value into this equation, so you will get Rc less than or equal 1 plus m, instead of sin omega mt it is minus m, right, upon m omega m, instead of cos omega mt, here we have used trigonometric formula sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, right? So with that formula, this cosine term is converted into sine, and then sine is replaced by m, right? So here m into omega m square root of 1 minus m square. So Rc we are getting this, then when we solve this, here it is 1 minus m square upon square root of 1 minus m square. So here we'll get square root of 1 minus m square at numerator, upon in denominator m into omega m, where omega m is nothing but 2 pi fm, right? Omega represent frequency in terms of radian per second, and f represent frequency in terms of hertz. So this is the important equation of Rc, right? Rc should be less than or equal this, where m modulation index and omega, or say fm, is the frequency of modulating signal, right? So this is the important relation that you have to remember. So here again, for sake of simplicity, it is shown. So fm is the frequency of modulating signal. So if modulating signal is given by this equation, where here it is fm, so that fm you have to use, right? So here it is generalized formula, Rc less than equal square root of 1 minus m square upon m 2 pi f max of signal, means whatever is the maximum frequency present in modulating signal, that is to be considered as a fm, right? So this is the means this, for given value of modulation index and maximum frequency of modulating signal, we can have appropriate value of, or some moderate value of Rc to follow the shape of envelope by a demodulator circuit or envelope detector circuit, right? So here simple example is given. If m is equal to 0.33 less than 1, right, f max 1 kilohertz, what is the value of rc? So rc, we can find out rc is equal to 500, approximately 500 into 10 to the power minus 6 second. So if we assume capacitance in design problem, always we have to assume value of capacitance, appropriate value of capacitance. So if c is equal to 1 microfarad, we'll get r is equal to less than or equal 500, right? R less than or equal 500. R should not be greater than 500. R should be less than 400 or equal to 500, right? So here, if we have this rc, so now there are different options for r. So if we select c 1 microfarad, r should be less than or equal 500 ohms. So if we consider case 1, if rc too low, instead of 500 ohms, if we consider rc is equal to 10 ohms and capacitor as it is 1 microfarad, right? So you can see here the blue line indicate amplitude modulated signal and red line indicates demodulated signal. So here you can see here actually the envelope is not actually traced by this demodulated circuit, right? Means the output of capacitor or voltage across capacitor is not following the shape of envelope because here r is too small, right? R is too small. Second case, if r is too high, instead of 500 ohms, if we are considering large value, then you can see again r is too large, so rc would be too large. So that's why it is not going to uh, follow the shape of envelope, right? In this portion it is not following the shape of envelope, so again will not get appropriate modulating signal at the receiver. If rc is equal to 500 ohms, you can see it is following the shape of envelope, right? The red line indicates the demodulated signal, so it looks like the shape of envelope. Shape of envelope here actually I have not mentioned, but if you join all the peaks of modulated signal, right, so it would look like uh, actually demodulated output, actual demodulated output. If it is 300, then also it is giving you a good output, right? Means r should be less than or equal 500 ohms, but r should not be too small, right? So thank you. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you.